You're asleep, mouth slightly open, maybe drooling on the pillow. The room is dark. There are eight-legged creatures somewhere in your house. You don't know where. On the ceiling. In the corner of the closet. Behind that one book you haven't moved since 2019. House spiders. Cellar spiders. Jumping spiders. The occasional brown recluse hiding in your shoe. They've been there the whole time. Watching. Allegedly. Someone, probably your aunt at Thanksgiving, told you that you swallow 8 spiders a year while you sleep. You hated that fact. You repeated it at parties anyway. And yet, every single morning, you wake up and your mouth is empty. Every time. For your entire life. Why? It's never just one spider behavior. There are layered explanations sitting on top of each other. The famous statistic is also fake, and the truth about how spiders feel about your sleeping body is somehow worse. I had nothing better to do, so let's get into it. Your subconscious processes thousands of micro-decisions while you sleep. Roll over, adjust pillow, tug at the blanket. Your body monitors the bed surface like a TSA checkpoint with insomnia. A bug landing on your face wakes you up immediately. A breeze from the AC makes you scratch your nose without ever opening your eyes. Now imagine an actual 8-legged predator climbing onto your cheek. Your alarm system is so good that even ants don't make it past your jawline. And spiders are way bigger than ants. Way scarier than ants. They evolved to avoid being seen by anything bigger than a thumb. You're a mountain in the dark. A loud, breathing, drooling mountain. The boring answer is, the myth is a hoax. Like, on the record. There's a paper trail. The internet has cited the same source for 30 years. A 1993 column in PC Professional magazine, written by a journalist named Lisa Holst. She supposedly made up a list of fake facts to show how easily people believe nonsense online. One of them was the line about humans swallowing 8 spiders a year during sleep. She invented that number out of thin air to prove a point about misinformation. Snopes went looking for that 1993 column. They couldn't find it. They went looking for Lisa Holst. They couldn't find her either. PC Professional magazine doesn't appear to have existed in 1993. The full citation reads, Lisa Birgit Holst, which is an anagram for the phrase, "This is a big troll." The story about the source of the spider myth is itself a myth, built specifically to be funnier and dumber than the original lie. The internet kept pasting Lisa Holst into list articles, then trivia apps, then your aunt's mouth at Thanksgiving. 8 spiders. Annual. No source, no mechanism, no journalist, no evidence. Just a number that got loose, with a fake origin story bolted onto it later by somebody else. Cool. Mystery solved. Except, even if the 8 per year number is fabricated, that doesn't actually mean 0 spiders ever crawl near a sleeping face. Surely some do. Right? The honest answer turns out to be, yeah. Basically never. The spider is doing the avoiding. In 2014, Scientific American sat down with Bill Scheer of Hampden-Sydney College and Rod Crawford of the Burke Museum to explain what spiders actually sense around a sleeping human. The list is uncomfortably specific. Spiders use organs called trichobothria, tiny hairs on their legs that detect air movement at frequencies humans can't hear. They also have slit-sensilla, which are mechanoreceptors built into the exoskeleton that read vibration through any surface they touch. Plus normal eyes, which most spiders barely use, but house spiders do okay in the dark. Now put a sleeping human in front of that sensory package. You exhale a slow, warm carbon dioxide plume every 4 seconds. That plume is, to the spider, a giant gust, way bigger than anything wind could explain. The bed creaks every time you shift. Your breath rate registers like a tide rolling in and out. Your chest rises and falls, and the entire mattress under the spider's leg vibrates with it. Your snoring, if you snore, is a literal earthquake to a creature the size of a tic-tac. Their basic point is that to a spider on your bedspread, you aren't invisible. You're extremely visible. You're a thunderstorm sleeping inside a small mountain, the exact thing that a spider's nervous system tells it to run from. And spiders are very good at running. They live by running. And here's where it gets stupid. The reason spiders don't crawl into your mouth isn't that they aren't close to you. They're very close to you. They're above you. They're next to you. They're watching the bed from corners and ceiling cracks at 3 a.m. They just refuse to come in. House spider species, the Falcididae cellar spider with the long legs, Peristeatota the common cobweb spider, even the occasional Salticidae jumping spider, all share a strong inherited avoidance of large, warm, pulsing surfaces. Their brain runs a simple algorithm. Big breathing object equals predator. Predator equals do not approach. Approach equals death. Multiplied over 400 million years of arachnid evolution. The spiders that did crawl onto sleeping mammals tended to get rolled over and crushed in their sleep, or licked off in the morning, or eaten by an opossum on the way down. Whatever happened, their genes left the pool. The spiders alive today are descendants of the ones who stayed in the corner. Don't think about that too hard. Now factor in the mouth specifically. Open mouth is the absolute worst zone for a spider to enter. Hot, humid, dark, actively blasting a gust of breath every 4 seconds. A spider's book lungs, which are how it breathes, would suffocate in a CO2 plume 100 times denser than ambient air. To a spider, your mouth is a dragon's nose. It's on fire. It's also wet. It's making weird snoring noises. There's no version of spider behavior in which approaching it makes any sense. They literally can't. Which raises a different, dumber question. What about all those times you wake up and there's a spider somewhere on the wall? Or on the pillow? Or briefly on your arm before it sprints off into the dark? These do happen. They aren't myth. The actual situation is that house spiders are wandering the home at night, looking for moths and roach nymphs to eat. They cross your bed because the bed is, geographically, a flat plane between two walls. They detect your warm body and immediately reroute. The 2 seconds where a spider is technically on your arm is the 2 seconds before it figures out which direction is away from the giant mammal. They don't pause, they don't investigate, they flee. So yes, technically a spider has crossed your face. Probably this year, it didn't stop. It didn't crawl in, it got the hell out. Anyway, so here's the thing about spiders and your sleeping mouth. The 80-year statistic is a made-up number from a 1993 column about how the early internet ruins facts. The real number is approximately 0. And the reason isn't that you got lucky. It's that the spider, who is much, much smaller than you, is genuinely terrified of the breathing warm thing in the bed. You're a predator. You're loud, you're wet. You exhale fire every 4 seconds. A spider that crawls into your mouth dies. The bloodline of any species that historically did this is gone. The spiders alive today are evolved to avoid you specifically, with great care, every single night, while you sleep peacefully and assume the worst about them. The arachnids aren't the villains in this story. They have a much higher opinion of your bedroom than you do. Now you know. Sorry.